Hello, everybody. My name is Jasmine. I am from good old Alberta, Canada, and today I decided I'll share a little bit with you, like my own story, my own personal journey, where I'm at, how I've gotten to be where I am today. So, about 2 years ago, I went through like a super hectic, nasty breakup, and it was just at that point I lost completely who I was. I didn't know who I was outside this relationship. I had lost my best friend, I had lost myself, and it ended up me falling into a whole bunch of toxic behaviors. So instead of processing the breakup, it ended up me, not having a proper self care routine, me not taking care of my body, me seeking everything that I needed outside in men and hooking up with people and trying to seek validation that way and never really nurturing my heart and my soul in the way that it needed to be. And that really cultivated in a deep rooted anxiety and overthinking 24/7 and developing a whole bunch of health issues. And when I say health issues, I mean like anxiety, insomnia, cystic acne, hair loss, crazy acid reflux, burning intestines. Just it literally came to a point where I felt like my body was falling apart and like I was crumbling as well. And this like was so back in 2017, July. Ooh, sorry, a bug. Back in July 2017 is when everything, when shit literally hit the fan, and I started to go into a downward spiral. And then it came to a point in May 2018 where I would say I went through my spiritual awakening, and I did an 8-day melon fast, and I really discovered like who God was, what the universe was. And then I just became like really lonely and very isolated, and I didn't want to associate myself with anyone who like wasn't on like this level of woke or understanding or awareness. And that just led my anxiety even more through the roof because I became so isolated and so disconnected and just so not myself. I really lost who I was. I didn't dance anymore. I didn't laugh. I didn't engage with people. I pushed all my friends away. And I just became this person where constantly I was worrying about my digestion. I had a fear of eating. I just hated my appearance because I had all this cystic acne, and literally watching yourself transform in the mirror to someone you didn't even recognize was one of the hardest things that I had ever experienced. And it came to a point with my anxiety where I thought, you know what, this is so intense that like, hey, I've experienced 22 years here. I'm like, if this is it, this is my end all. Like, I totally understand, I totally get it. It's been great. Not that I was suicidal, but I also came to a point where I was just like, if this is it, this is it. This is all that I'm feeling. It's just too much. And I was in the quicksand, and people around me didn't get it, and I felt misunderstood. I didn't feel heard. I felt really lonely, and I was in a lot of pain and a lot of sadness. And it wasn't until I really started to slow down and really turn inwards and get curious about who I am and what makes me me, and to actually come up with self-care and to start actually taking care of myself and start speaking my truth and owning my truth and having those really open and vulnerable conversations with people in my life and letting them in, because I was trying to figure this all out on my own, and quite frankly, I couldn't. I couldn't figure it out on my own. I needed to have those conversations with those people in my life that had hurt me and had put this pain on me, but not to blame them, but to further understand it and to offer them forgiveness. And just to lift that burden off my heart and just to allow it to open and flourish and love the way that my heart is intending to love, and to really take that love that I've been seeking outside myself and really learn to give it to myself, and fucking spend a lot of time naked, a lot of time in front of the mirror, a lot of time speaking love and truth to my body, and realizing that I am not my body, I am not my flaws, I am not anything other than Jasmine. Jasmine is who I am and who I strive to be, and I strive to let Jasmine live a life of freedom and love and vibrancy and joy and happiness, and just let love in and allow myself to be vulnerable and free. So doing this inner work and exploring your own inner world is one of the scariest things you could ever do. But it's also one of the most rewarding things that you can ever do, is to go on this journey inward and to view your darkness without flashlight, without any type of light guiding you, and to just explore it without judgment and without fear, and know that whatever you discover, it's going to be okay. And to really tend to that inner child in yourself. We are honestly all adult children. We are all adult children just trying to fix those wounds, and not just put a band-aid on these wounds, but actually heal them, allow them to heal, and give them the love and the nurturing that they need to be healed. So it's like, where I'm at now, I want to say that I'm thriving and I'm flourishing, and that like these emotions of just pure happiness are so genuine. And I was crying earlier today because I was like, fuck, like I've prayed for this day to come to a place of like alignment and truth and just feel so good about life. And even like my post journey, like before like the breakup and like all this stuff hit the fan, I'm like, I wasn't even in this space. I wasn't in this loving, nurturing, calm space. And now when I like look around me and I see people, I'm like, holy, like they're so anxious and there's just so much going on in here. It's like, I pray for them to reach that place where like the chaos isn't so intense, where they can bring themselves to a place of peace and to a place of joy. And I didn't even realize that like before this journey started, that that's how intense, not to like the level that I experienced, but like how intense my inner world was before. And now I'm at like such a place of like calm, and it's so beautiful to have that contrast and that comparison. So I'm at a place where I have complete gratitude for my shitstorm, because it's allowed me to really be thankful to have days like this. But you wouldn't have that contrast if you didn't have those shitty days. And just to have all this awareness of like, I really am in control how I feel and how I show up in life, and how life treats me based on how I feel, on how I think, and how I choose to show up, and how I choose to explore myself, and how I choose to love myself, and how I choose to react. And knowing that the human power that you are gifted with is your power of choice. And that's been one of the most beautiful things for me to discover. And it's like, either I choose to live a life for me, or I choose to live a life for someone else. Either I choose to be in a state of low frequency and low vibe, or I choose to align with a higher frequency, And it's like that moment I was like, wow, I really have this choice. I want to start choosing something that's going to really allow me to live a life worth living. So yeah, I was in an anxiety hell pit, is what I like to call it. And now I want to say blissful are the words to use, loving. And now I just want to like spread light and love to everyone. So that now I understand why I went through the journey that I went through, because now it's like it makes sense. Like I was gifted this journey because I have the strength to handle it. And now that I've handled 100% of my worst days, I know that whatever is coming forth for the rest of my life, I know without a doubt that I can handle. And now, like, how fulfilling it is to be a career and know that I get to guide women from point A to point B, because I went through that experience and I've been in their shoes, and now I'm on the other side of it, and now I'm like, I know I can guide them through this transformation so they can experience what I'm currently experiencing. But I wouldn't be able to provide this transformation if I hadn't have gone through, the mud, the shit, right? And earlier I was watching one of Miles' like live videos, and he talked about, sometimes life's a pile of shit, but then you realize you have the gold nugget. Everyone has their gold nugget inside their pile of shit. So allow yourself to experience that pile of shit until you find the gold nugget. And Allow your pain to really transform into strength, because it is really your greatest gift. And now I get to share my strength. It's no longer pain. I get to share my strength, and I get to use it to transform other people's pain into strength. So if I can offer you the best piece of advice for wherever you're at in your journey, get fucking curious. Get curious. Explore yourself. Explore your mind. Explore your body. Explore your soul. Allow your heart to open. Allow yourself to get uncomfortable. Do stuff that pushes you to be outside your comfort zone. Try new things. Don't live your life in a constant routine. There is a solution to every single problem. Stop fixating on the problem and start searching for the solution. Your answer is out there, okay? And you are literally being fucking divinely guided, and anything you want in life is absolutely possible. Any person, any version of yourself you want to be is something you can easily tap into. So stop living life and playing small, okay? You came here to play fucking big. You didn't come here to go home, all right? You came here to do big things. You came here to enjoy life, because life isn't meant to be stressed about, all right? Life is meant to be enjoyed. Life is meant to be loved. You are meant to have your ups and you're meant to have your downs, but allowing yourself to either sit in that valley or to come back up and climb that mountain and explore and see what the view is, Life doesn't need to be taken as seriously as we fucking make it be. So, do more things that light you up. Allow yourself to play, explore yourself, ask questions, get curious. Let that be your new motto. Just get curious. And even like the other day, I was laying in bed naked and just wanting to genuinely be like, I haven't explored myself. Like, I haven't given the love and the attention that my body deserves. And it was just like looking down at my hands, and I was just like thank you. Like, it was just a complete gratitude I had for my body, and being like thank you, hands, so much for like allowing me to do all that I use you for. Like, holding people's hands, and like even like appreciating my own touch and holding things, and being able to get my nails done and wear rings. And I was just like wow, hands, like you were just so beautiful. And then just like looking up and realizing like beauty marks I didn't even realize that I had, and then just like further exploring and be like, wow, like I have, beauty marks in areas that I didn't. And like it's interesting, like, okay, even back to my hands, like I was like, oh, there's like little lines at the top. I was like, I didn't realize that before. I just thought there was lines on the knuckles. So take the chance and the opportunity to just explore, because life's too short not to. So I'm going to leave you with that. So this literally isn't like a half an hour long video, but that's been my story, my journey, and the best piece of advice that I think I can offer you guys is just to get curious and allow yourself to be supported. I know some of you in this group are going to have a harder time with that. You may have more serious trauma. You may have more damage, quote unquote, than what I have experienced. Not that I want to compare anything. I know some things can be a little bit harder for you, but know that it's possible for you. And hang on to that, even if it's just like the tiniest bit of belief and strength. Hang on to that and allow that to move you forward, because quite frankly, trauma is not your fault at all, but healing is your responsibility. You have the tools now, and you have the access to gain the support and the love that you need to allow yourself to transform from caterpillar to butterfly. So don't hold yourself back anymore. You really do yourself a disservice and the world a disservice by playing small and not stepping into your true power and your true potential. This isn't a rat race. This isn't a race whatsoever. This is a very, very, very slow marathon. It may take you months. It may take you years. But know that the end result is a possibility for you, and it will happen. Okay, so much love for you guys. I love you guys so fucking much. Thank you so much for tagging me and allowing this to be something that I can share. Much love, and reach out anytime.